All right. Hello, everyone who's trickling in. We're going to give folks a few minutes to join us today for our webinar on updates on the EcoCommitted Partner Program. Welcome. All right. Um, all right. How are we doing on time? A few more minutes. As you trickle in, feel free to introduce yourself. If you're um, joining us from different parts of the country, just feel free to tell us where you're joining us from. New York City. Amazing. I'm also based in New York City. New York, Buffalo, aloha from Hawaii. Awesome. I hope the time difference is not too crazy from Hawaii. NYC, Texas, Denver, Chile. Hola, Victor. Great to have you. Okay, wonderful. All right, just a few minutes past noon, so we'll get started. Welcome everyone to our webinar today. We're going to basically go over exciting updates from ClimeCo's EcoCommitted Partner Program and see how SMBs can do more with these updates. So let's get right into it. There we go. All right, so here's the agenda for today. We're going to go through at a glance what the EcoCommitted Partner is and what it's meant to do. We're also going to go through the meat and bones of the webinar, which is the enhanced aspects of the program, mainly towards our small business level program. We're also going to go to exciting website updates and new look of the program on our website. And we are also joined by our guest speaker, Lisa Geason-Bauer from Evolution Marketing. She's a longtime EcoCommitted partner, and we're very excited to have her here as well to share her story. And lastly, we're also going to leave some time at the end for some Q&A and just general discussion and going through what the updates mean. All right, so introducing the speakers. My name is Gabby Ferraris. I am the manager of the EcoCommitted Partner Program at ClimeCo. I am based in New York City, so hello, fellow New Yorkers. And Lisa Geason-Bauer is the president and founder of Evolution Marketing, and she's based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Awesome. Great to have you here, Lisa. Amazing. So let's go through what the Eco-Committed Partner is, a refresher at a glance of what is meant to do for small and medium-sized companies. So at the heart of the program, the Eco-Committed Partner Program is for small and medium-sized businesses to tackle climate action. It is designed to be a first and initial step in a company's sustainability journey and help you throughout your different sustainability targets, goals, and needs that you may have. It's designed to also be very approachable, cost-effective, and simple. And the program offers different types of ways that businesses can join in, depending on your goals, targets, and just wishes in terms of dealing with sustainability initiatives. So our main program that we offer is our small business program, and this deals with addressing operating carbon emissions for small businesses. We have very easy preset tiers based on company sizes. And so companies can basically easily offset their emissions based on this in a very simple and easy, quick way. We also have different ways that you can join outside of the small business program. So for example, if you wish to address shipping activity and emissions that way, you can join the shipping offset program. If you wish to have emissions addressed, we have an event-related one, as well as a plastic offset program addressing plastic use and the growing plastic waste crisis. So we have different programs, but the beauty of the program is that it's simple and you can join any of the following or a combination of the following. We have many companies that join, for example, the small business operation program, but also the shipping offset program, for example. And what does the partnership include? So when partners join the program, they get our specialized EcoCommitted badges that they may proudly display in your website, communication channels, social media channels, and so forth, for you to easily communicate your commitments to sustainability. Depending on the program that you join, you get different badges: small business badge, shipping badge, events badge, and so forth. And if you join more than one, you get the ones that you've joined. When you join as well, you get a ClimeCo e-certificate. Essentially, it helps you to showcase your commitment through the certificate. And this details your commitment, on behalf of who? So the beneficiary, the business that is offsetting those emissions, for example, and the date that you do so. We also have a partner directory that small businesses, when they join the partnership, have a listing, a feature on there. And essentially, this helps to increase brand visibility. We list your website link, what you do as a company, your targets, and why sustainability is important to you and the company, and why the EcoCommitted program was the right fit for you. So it gives you a good, we value the showcasing of our partners and their sustainability goals. We also have flexible financing options. So the partnership is on an annual commitment basis. So every year, companies need to renew the commitment. But if, we understand that budgets look different for different companies and small and medium-sized organizations. So we want to make it as affordable and customizable as possible. So if the annual solutions that we have on our website are not necessarily the ones that work for you, we can always customize it. Either, a semi-annual basis, quarterly, monthly, whatever works for you, we can always meet you where you are. And lastly, we give you a welcome and marketing kit, essentially just giving you guidelines in terms of how to communicate the partnership, use the badge, and all that good stuff. Okay, so the meat and the bones of the webinar is the enhancements, the updates. So what are they? Before I go into the updates, I wanted to give you a little bit of background of why we've enhanced the program. We've engaged with our partners over the last year. We sent out surveys, and we wanted to understand if the program was actually meeting their expectations and seeing what they wanted more out of it. And even though we got really positive reviews in terms of it was meeting their expectations, we also had three main general sentiments that we also wanted to address. The first one is they wanted to better communicate and explain the partnership and have more to say, more communication, and more help with that. Second, they wanted to also more information on the projects themselves. And third, they wanted to see if they could go beyond carbon and address sustainability in a more holistic manner. We understand that sustainability is not just carbon, it affects many different areas. So they wanted to see how they can do more, just more than carbon. So based on these three main general pieces of feedback, we wanted to create the program that was tailored to a more holistic approach to addressing climate action. So what does this mean? It means that from our standard offering, so historically, the program has been focused on carbon offsets, so projects that focus on reducing carbon emissions and mitigating those, or separately, our plastic recovery program. The enhanced program, we wanted to essentially bundle and combine different areas towards climate action. So for the enhanced version, partners can actually address three main areas: carbon, plastic, and water, all under one easy and simple commitment. And why is this? Through carbon, you're able to mitigate your own carbon-based emissions. Through plastic, you're able to support and divert plastic waste away from landfills and oceans. And through water, you're able to help initiatives that restore water flows and keep water in streams in water-stressed areas around the US. All of this affects your impact. Not only does it increase what you can do as a small business, but it can also help you with your sustainability efforts and claims. It can also help you communicate more than just one aspect of climate action, but multiple. So we want to make sure that we were able to address the feedback that we got and be able to, in one solution, still be able to have the easy, quick, simple way that SMBs can address sustainability. Now, I'm going to go through these projects in my next slides, but just as a big overview in terms of what the enhancement looks like, we wanted to give partners a portfolio of projects that they can actually communicate that they're investing. Through the portfolio, there are 3 different types of carbon projects that you'll be supporting: 1 plastic recovery project and 1 water restoration initiative project. And I'll go through the details right after this. But I just wanted to give you an overview of, through one single program, one simple commitment, you would actually be focusing on 5 different projects addressing carbon emissions, plastic waste, and water initiatives across the globe. So pretty impactful. All right, let's get into carbon. ClimeCo has a diversified portfolio of carbon offset projects around the world, and we wanted to reflect this into the program. Our SMBs come from all over the country, even outside of the US, and we wanted to be able to maximize the impact that SMBs across the globe can have towards carbon mitigation initiatives. So at any one given time, SMBs will be able to support these 3 kinds of carbon offset project types. Industrial projects. These projects include solutions that address super pollutants. So these are powerful greenhouse gases from industrial processes, such as, for example, methane, which is about 25 times stronger than carbon dioxide, and nitrous oxide, or N2O, which is almost 300 times stronger than carbon dioxide. So they're called super pollutants for a reason, and we want to address them. So at any one given moment, your portfolio would be addressing one of that area in terms of carbon emissions. The second type of projects that the portfolio would be addressing are forestry projects. These are the projects that we mostly associate when we say, I mitigate my emissions, I offset my emissions. And these are, initiatives such as forest conservation, restoration, and so forth. And they help sequester carbon, but also maintain natural ecosystems intact, which is also vital. And lastly, the third one is renewable and energy industry projects. And these are projects that replace fossil fuel electricity with cleaner power, right? Hydro, solar, geothermal, you name it. So at any one given time, your carbon contribution will be equally distributed into these 3 types of project buckets, essentially through carbon. All right. But besides the carbon, I'm excited to go into the new enhancement, which is plastic and water. So let's start with plastic first. Plastic is a huge issue. More than 20 million tons of plastic waste ends up in the ocean every year. This equates to about 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic being dumped in the ocean every day. So this is a lot of plastic waste. And usually this happens in places where infrastructure of plastic waste management is not actually robust, and it's lacking. So there's also an uneven disparity in terms of places in the world that suffer more with the plastic waste crisis. So through the EcoCommitted partner expansion and our partnership with Ton to Ton, EcoCommitted partners are able to support vital waste management practices in Cambodia and Vietnam. And what does this project do? It recovers post-consumer, not easily recyclable plastic, and that was ocean-bound, and co-process it to create fuel, essentially replacing fossil fuels and coal. But besides the environmental benefits of the project, it also has great social benefits. For example, there's new employment opportunities, primarily for women, and also the advocacy of having better infrastructure to advocate for waste management and avoiding the spillage of waste into our ecosystems, into our aquatic ecosystems in general. So it has amazing environmental, but also social co-benefits at the same time. And lastly, water. This is also exciting because we're able to partner with the Bonneville Environmental Foundation. They're a wonderful NGO. And they created what are called water restoration certificates. And these certificates are essentially very similar to carbon offsets. Essentially, you equate an amount of water that is restored. So one water restoration certificate equals 1,000 gallons of water that is restored or kept in stream where water levels are very stressed, primarily in the US. And the project that EcoCommitted partners will be supporting through the enhanced portfolio is the Middle Deschutes River project. It's located in Central Oregon in the US. And it essentially partners, the project essentially has water conservation groups and local irrigator groups partner together to restore water in rivers that are being affected during the summer irrigation months. And what are these irrigation months? It's between April and September, and it's essentially where water is being diverted from rivers excessively for agricultural purposes. And this is affects essentially the ecosystem in general, but also the people being able to use the water as well are affected. So during this project, essentially, they are able to restore 115 cubic feet per second. And just to give you an idea, 1 cubic foot is about the size of a basketball. So think of 115 basketballs per second being restored towards the river. And what does it mean restoring water? As a very simple analogy is think of the river as a highway and the irrigation months is rush hour. So a lot of people are using it at the same time, right? Farmers for crops, communities for their livelihoods, ecosystems for survival. But there's not enough water to meet all that demand. So what happens is they add a few more highway lanes, essentially, and they keep the water leasing rights open so that water can still flow towards the rivers and not entirely dry them up during these high intensity level needs months. So benefits, right? It keeps the river flowing and it fosters a healthy ecosystem for wildlife, for fish, and also for people. All right. And just a little bit of the preset tiers in terms of what this change means. Before we had a preset tier that was based on employee size, as you see on the left, and the carbon offset that you would be committing based on your size. Now, with the expansion, we will also have the plastic preset option and also the water preset option. So as you see, depending on the tier that you join, you would offset a certain amount of carbon, you would recover a certain amount of plastic, and you would also help restore a certain amount of water. And on the right, you will see the updated pricing. We were very conscious in terms of keeping this budget friendly for SMBs. We understand that, again, budget and finances are a huge detriment, and sometimes sustainability is not an easy thing to employ with SMBs. So we wanted to keep it as close as possible to the previous pricing as well. And on the bottom, you will see the badge will get updated once you join the expanded version. So you would see the classic EcoCommitted partner badge, but at the bottom, you also see a little subtitle, if you wish, essentially displaying what you are actually doing as a partner, right? So you're addressing carbon, you're addressing plastic, and you're also addressing water. And we're very excited to be able to address all in one. I feel like a lot of places address one or two. And we're excited to be able to have all these partnerships across uh, the US and across different projects to be able to offer these three things at the same time for partners to engage um, simultaneously. So it's very exciting. And lastly, before I go into some updates on the website, is that we will also be sending a physical welcome kit. Essentially, to get out of the digital space, we offer a lot of digital resources, right? The badge, the certificate, um, the digital marketing kit as well that you get. But we want to also to give people uh, a way to easily showcase your sustainability outside of the screen. So here you'll find fun magnets, a printout on the project details, different kinds of stickers, right, for your car, windows, even laptops, removable. They're no damaging. But essentially, it's a fun way for you to, showcase and communicate what you're doing as a partner, and in a physical manner as well. So we're excited to be sending those out too. I have a few that got delivered to my house, so you can see a little bit of the magnet here, a sticker. So just exciting little things that you can have to be able to easily communicate what you're doing. Okay, so before I hand it off to Lisa, I just want to quickly go through some website updates. Um, this is again making sure that we know that our partners understand that there's different ways that you can join the partner program. So the first thing that I want to highlight is here are a few lovely screenshots of the new website. And you will see on the left-hand side on the screenshot, you will see some tabs, right? So here we are on the small business program tab, but you can see on the going towards the right, there's a shipping tab, events tab, plastic only program tab, and so forth. And this was a point that we wanted to make in terms of whether you want to do one, two, or all of them if you wish, you know exactly which one you're actually joining. So each tab will showcase the different ways that you're addressing those activities. So for example, here, the small business, we're addressing the operating activities, and this is through the bundled version program, right? So you have the preset tiers depending on your business size. And we also have a little contact us button right on the side that if you want to do more of a customization, if you have more than the preset tiers in terms of employee size, you're always welcome to contact us. And we're always happy to help you in terms of what you need and your goals. So we wanted to make it front and center. But if you scroll a little bit down, one of my favorite parts of the website update is the equivalencies aspect of it. So sometimes when we say, all right, I'm offsetting 32 metric tons of carbon, great. But what does it actually mean in terms of everyday terms? I don't exactly understand what a ton is. I think it's big, but these are abstract terms sometimes. So we wanted to make it we want to give equivalencies to basically understand it in a less abstract way. So for example, the equivalent version of 32 metric tons of carbon that is avoided is more than 3,000 gallons of gasoline that you're avoiding consumption. And the same thing goes for plastic and water. So we wanted to be able to say, okay, your commitment has 15 water restoration certificates that you're investing in, and that means 15,000 gallons of water that you're helping restore in water-stressed ecosystems. So that's really cool. And I'm really happy that this came out the way it did. I really enjoy it. And at the bottom, you will see also another button, View Supported Projects. And this just goes into the details of the projects that I highlighted before. You will see the exact projects that you're supporting with links to more information. So you will have all the information you need to just communicate, the partnership, the projects, the impact that you're having in a better and easy way. Another examples of the tabs here on the shipping side, on the left-hand side, we've embedded calculators. So now partners can easily just calculate it through the website if they so wish. Of course, if there's additional things that the website doesn't offer or you wish to talk to me, I'm always happy to help. And you will have my email address in all of the tabs or the contact us form as well. Feel free to contact us with any questions you have, any customization needs that you would need. But we wanted to also embed calculators directly on the website to make it easy for partners to just input activity and offset easily and quickly if they so wished. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a little toggle that says include plastic footprint. And also here we wanted to make sure that we gave the options for partners to be able to not only address carbon emissions, but also other waste that is involved in shipping. Indeed, packaging is one of the biggest sources of plastic waste in the world. So we wanted to also address that in a easy way. So it's simply just, it depends on the number of shipments that you're shipping. And we're just giving a conservative estimate of 10 grams per shipment. So let's say you have 50 shipments, then 50 times 10, and so forth. And the calculator will just calculate it automatically. So you will see it on the right. The calculator will populate depending on data that you're inputting in the calculator. And on the right-hand side, we have the plastic only tab. And here we also wanted to give people the ability to just input the amount of people that they wish to offset the plastic footprint essentially per year. And this is using US-based numbers. So if you're based outside of the US and you want to be more specific in terms of, I want to address my plastic waste, but it's not necessarily US numbers, we can always help. So feel free to contact us and we'll be able to customize it as you need as well. So my last spiel before handing it off to Lisa is I just want to hone in on the customization aspect of everything that I just went through. We can customize financially. We can customize your investment amounts if you want to, for example, have the bundled version, but maybe your business operates in a more water intensive way. We can definitely change that. So depending on our preset options and what you feel might be more apt with your business, we can always customize amounts that you want to leverage in terms of that. We can also discuss project options. For example, sometimes depending on your sustainability targets or the certifications that you're under, you might need specific, for example, carbon projects that are more close to you regionally or operationally. So we can always discuss how we can best meet your needs in terms of what you need out of the program. So customization is key in terms of there's always a way for it, and we're always happy to answer any of your questions that you might have. And lastly, again, if you have more than 20 employees or just simply want to increase the amount that you see on our website, we're also always happy to help. So this is my long spiel to say customization. We are happy to address any and all needs that you might have regarding that. Okay, that was my spiel. And now I'm going to just pass it on to our guest speaker and longtime partner, Lisa. Lisa, it's great to have you here and take it away.
Thank you, Gabby, and thank you, ClimeCo, for asking me to participate. So if you could go to the next slide, please. A little bit about myself. So my name is Lisa Geason-Bauer, and I'm the president of Evolution Marketing. We're a sustainability consulting firm and marketing communications firm. So we work in that really intersectional space between sustainability actions, practices, protocols, operations, and then communicating what you've done with all of your stakeholders. We've been doing this since 2007. So 2 weeks ago, we celebrated our 18th birthday. So why I'm bringing that up or why it's relevant, we have been operating as a triple bottom line business since our inception. So what that means is we have really prioritized both our social and environmental performance and the impacts of our actions and decision making on the natural world and on social, which could be your employees, the community, the bigger social, sphere, in all of our decision making since our inception. And so with that said, you can see that on this graphic, we're part of a number of programs. And we've been part of, we're a certified B Corporation. We're part of 1% for the Planet. We're a woman-owned business in the state of Wisconsin. And we're proud to be living wage certified as well. But one of the things that we've been really excited to be part of, and I am beyond thrilled to be part of this new small business program through the EcoCommitted Partner Program, is simply because as a small business, we are doing everything we possibly can to address our full operational impact. As a certified B Corp, we've been working in this space for a really long time. We're in another program called the Green Masters Program, which has been around since 2009. And so we have literally been measuring and monitoring not only our carbon footprint, but our operational footprint, our supply chain, engaging with our suppliers for years now, right? For basically 18 years. And with that said, we know that our biggest footprint is our carbon footprint. We have a very small plastic footprint, I mean, minuscule, and our water footprint is pretty much nil. So having this new program through ClimeCo, I'm super excited about it because I want to be able to do more to support water action. And because my business is so small, that's not something that I can work into. I mean, it's in our systems, but there's nothing more I can do. So by being part of this new program, I'm super excited to be able to take water action because I know living on the Great Lakes, how important fresh water is and how important maintaining our water is here in the United States and around the world. All right, so next slide, please, Gabby. So I wanted to show you some examples of things that Evolution Marketing has done and how we have worked in our partnership with ClimeCo and being an eco-committed partner into that program. So on this slide, you see, and afterwards, all the links will be shared out so you can look at these reports afterwards. But you can see that yearly we publish a operational impact and carbon footprint report. So this is our 2024 one. So we're going to be talking about actions we did last year, and then I'll end with things that we're doing this year. So every year in our yearly impact report, we actually unpack all the different things from an operations standpoint that we are doing. And we're at the point where we've also signed on to other petitions. So, and we're now doing reporting, I should say now. For many years, we've now been reporting into the SME Climate Hub, which takes our data and it feeds it into the We Mean Business Coalition that goes towards meeting the Paris Climate Accord. So you can tell from that statement carbon is very important to us, and we do a really good job of clearly articulating on a yearly basis what our footprint was and as well as the actions we're taking. But as we progress forward in the world, there's other things we can be doing. So if we look at so we'll talk about water in just a minute. So here's an example of the SME Climate Hub, and anybody can go look. What's nice about this is anyone can go look at the SME Climate Hub. They can look up Evolution Marketing, and they can actually see. I think we have reports they're going back to 2018. So they can see previous sustainability reports. These are also on the Evolution Marketing website. So next slide. This is just a great example to show that not only are we participating in this program, but we're participating in this program as a way to further enhance the actions that we are doing with our business. This is the table of contents from our 2024 Operational Impact Report. And what I did is I circled in green all of the different actions that one might say fit under environmental operations or environmental sustainability. And if you dive into the report, you can see it's not only a carbon footprint, but we also talk about literally the decision making. And I mean, we break it down into supply chain and we showcase outreach engagement projects we're doing in the community. These are all different ways that we're trying to showcase to our stakeholders actions we're taking. All right, next slide. And so here's a page from the reports. This is page 8. And what I love about this page is that it literally is a snapshot of our carbon footprint from 2018 to 2024. We started working with ClimeCo in 2019 for our 2018 fiscal year and for our 2018 carbon offsets. And so you can see on that diagram there that we have our carbon credits versus the greenhouse gas emissions inventory. And I think this is really important to note. So you can see that the purple bar, the Evolution Marketing Carbon Credit Inventory, it's much longer, much bigger than what we're actually using and what we have used up until this point. But I think it's important to illustrate this to others because I know over time, when you make statements like your business is operating in a carbon neutral manner, you need to be able to show that you're actually doing that and you need to be able to publicly disclose what your carbon footprint is. So showing this to me is really important so that our stakeholders can understand and see the actions that we are taking. And we're not just offsetting the amount of CO2 we produce, we're actually offsetting more than that because we're striving to be part of the solution and to help through ClimeCo's program to actually build infrastructure for things like methane capture and water restoration and all of these different amazing things that Gabby just talked about, because it does take money to start these programs. And so we want to really help support that. Next slide, please. So I remember I talked about purchasing. So in our 2024 impact report, this is the slide that talks about purchasing and supply chain. So last year, we purchased plastic credit certification from ClimeCo because we had started working with another organization, Amplify, who's now been acquired by ClimeCo, and they had done a plastic-free July program the year before, and we had participated in that. Even though our plastic footprint is very small, we understand in the sustainability space, plastic is a real issue. It's a global problem. So we really wanted to be able to support, again, efforts and building out that infrastructure for sustainable waste management systems, especially being developed in non-developed countries or in developing countries where the waste management does not exist. So we were really excited last year through ClimeCo to be able to purchase as one-offs plastic certificates. And then if you go to the next slide, this is our website, and this we just put this on the end of summer. This is for 2025. We're super excited this year now to not only do the plastic recovery projects, but also to do the water restoration certificates. So on our carbon page on the Evolution Marketing website, we unpack the programs. We also highlight the projects we've supported over time with links so that our consumers or our stakeholders can learn more about the projects we're supporting. But I just think that this is really important as somebody who's been working in sustainability for 25 years to really help to build the infrastructure, to help build awareness, and to also provide opportunities for small businesses to be able to take action. Because I feel like sometimes it feels very daunting in the world that we live in to take action. And by participating in these programs, this is a great way to do that. Next slide. Okay, and so now we go back to Gabby, and we'll do Q&A in just a minute.
Amazing. Lisa, thank you very much for walking us through that. I feel like it's great to be able to see how you can showcase and communicate all your efforts in a clear and transparent manner. And we're happy to be able to help you with all your goals. So we're very happy to do that. Here, besides the wonderful story that Lisa just shared with us, I just wanted to showcase a few other quotes, other things that partners are saying across the program, and just highlighting the main thing about the program is it addresses different needs of different sustainability targets for SMBs, right? Each SMB is different. We're all unique. We have different operational footprints. We understand that it's very difficult to just have these are for all SMBs, but we wanted to showcase that the partnership helps different operational needs in different ways. And with this enhancement, we believe that it actually will help further different SMBs with different operational footprints because we are all different. And we believe that this bundled version addresses sustainability in a more holistic manner, which is a very important way to take climate action. So these are just a few quotes and inspiring things that some partners have said about the program. Okay. Right? Okay, that's it for us. Yes, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. I feel like I saw a few on the Q&A section.
I answered two in the Q&A section.
Ooh, thank you, Lisa.
We could
Yes,
do them if
great.
you like.
Yeah, so one of them is pricing. So for the partnership, we do have a minimum pricing, which is the 1 to 5 employee tier. Um, that's because we want to be able to also give you all the support that the partnership includes. So usually we work with companies beginning from that initial minimum pricing of the tier that you saw, the 1 to 5 employees. But we can always work with you to actually calculate your footprint and emissions. I think it really depends on what your goals are in terms of your sustainability needs. So if you wish to just understand a little bit of your footprint, see general emissions that your business is emitting, we can always help you with that and go from there. So again, just being able to meet you where you are, I think it's our main goal here. So whatever you wish to do as a business in terms of engaging in sustainability as an SMB, we're always happy to engage in a conversation and see where we can help you meet those goals in the best way possible.
And then
Um,
the other one was this new program. Is it automatically, do you automatically get switched over to it? And I wrote, it's my understanding that you get to choose. And is that correct, Gabby?
Yes, so for especially for our legacy partners that already have a partnership with us and joined us through the original carbon offset only version, of course, you would essentially be grandfathered in, right? So you would still be in the partnership that you joined. We welcome all of you guys to engage in the enhanced version. I feel like it's a very impactful way to be able to do more for a very little change in terms of the already established program that you're a part of. So I welcome any questions in terms of seeing how that would look like for your business. But yes, it's not automatically made. You are asked to join if you've had a partnership with us prior. And if you want to stay with carbon offsets only, you are, of course, very welcome to do that as well.
And then, okay, Gabby, I've got a question for you because I don't know the answer to it. This came
Awesome.
from Kyle. How do we qualify for the badge on Amazon from ClimeCo? Can you?
Great question, Kyle. Yes, thank you, Lisa. So the Eco-Committed Partner Program does not qualify for the Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly badging requirements. It's a very separate program. So the Eco-Committed Partner Program is more on the business level operations or just general activity, such as shipping or events, right? But for the Amazon badge, that is on the product level footprint. So we have actually our own separate program. It's called the ClimeCo Certified Product Program. And we can help you basically go through the process of getting certified through Amazon. But this is on a product level side, and the Eco-Committed program is on more on the business level front. So main differentiation between uh, our Amazon badging and our certified product program and the Eco-Committed partner program. You're welcome, Kyle.
Thanks, Gabby. Do you have any
Awesome.
questions for me, Gabby? Or does anybody have questions for me about what evolution marketing has done? Or, oh, hey, Linda, you just put a big question in. I'll let Gabby read it.
All right, I'll go ahead. Lisa, hi. Um, are you able to address how the Eco-Committed program may help with the B Corp certification? And are you aware that 1% for the Planet is planning to change their requirements so that members can use their 1% to support market-based sustainability initiatives? Read with for-profit companies and not only with NGOs. Going forward, this will be beginning 2026.
Okay, so hello, Linda. No, I did not know about 1%, but there is a lot going on in the world right now. So I do get emails from them on a pretty regular basis, and I am behind in my reading of them. So that might be in there. That's awesome. I'm super excited about that with 1%. We've been part of 1%. I think this is our ninth year. I want to say since 2017. Is that right? 8 or 9. Anyway, I lose track of time. But they're a great program. So as far as B Corp stuff, what's interesting is the new B Corp standards are going to be in effect starting January 1st, 2026. So the new B Corps, and this is again, I'm what's called a trained B consultant. So that means I was one of the first 23 people in the US and Canada to get certified by B Lab US and Canada to be able to help companies become certified B Corps. But there have been many of us who have been working in this space for a really long time. So I've been helping companies become B Corps since 2015. Anyway, with all of that said, what that means is that our new standards are now going to be rolling out in place January 1st, 2026 for companies who want to become a B Corp. If you already are a B Corp, you're going to now be put into one of the recertification cycles. So for example, my business just recertified for the third time in April. So we don't have to recertify again until I want to say it's 2020 eight, I think. And the timing is also changing. It used to be every 3 years. Now it's moving to a 5 year cycle. So there's a lot of things shifting. But regardless of all of that, if you are a certified B Corp and you have not already been addressing climate action or carbon management and climate action, in order to stay a certified B Corp, you are going to now have to start doing that. And I think that's really an important thing because within the B Corp, like the pillars, carbon and climate and environmental action are very, very important because we know that we're in a climate emergency basically around the world. Climate change is impacting each and every one of us on a daily basis. And So if you're a certified B Corp, you are going to now be required to be taking action. It's not saying that you have to be completely carbon neutral from day one, but you need to start measuring and monitoring scopes 1 and 2. There's plenty of information on the B Lab website that unpacks all of the new standards associated with it, with the carbon and climate area. But I would believe that if somebody's a small and medium-sized business and they're not sure where to begin with those actions, I would think that working with ClimeCo would make a lot of sense, especially for the offsetting, because I know that it's very important to have reputable and third-party verified and audited carbon offsets, and that is important. Okay, so there's more questions coming in. REB Corp, ClimeCo can help with all of this. Yes, through the Eco-Committed Partner Program more. Yep, totally agree with that. And I think there's a lot of opportunities in all sincerity for businesses around the world. And what I mean by that is not only the B Corp structure is changing, but there's a lot of additional third-party certifications that are going to be taking effect or coming into effect in the very near future from a compliance standpoint, whether we're talking about California or we're talking about the EU or Canada. I mean, there's things happening globally, and I think it's going to be really important for businesses to be able to have trusted partners to work with so that they can ensure the statements they are making are accurate and that businesses are actually being proactive in this, because I worry as somebody who works in the Marcom space in sustainability that we're going to have a lot more cases of either greenwashing and or green hushing, because they're both kind of happening simultaneously right now. But I also know that there's legislation and there will be ramifications for businesses making inaccurate statements depending upon who is there. So I'm talking broadly right now because there's so many different things happening globally, and I don't want to just dive into one of them. But the reality is, depending who is in your supply chain or whose supply chain you're in, you may have to be reporting all of this if you're not already. Um, if you have products, it's a whole different landscape. So there's just a lot of stuff happening because overall in the world right now, humanity as a whole is at a point where we lack trust in information. And this isn't just Lisa saying this. There's a global report that's done every year. It's called the Eldman Trust Survey. And this was the 25th year they've been doing it. And this year, the Eldman Trust Survey, basically, it came out that people around the world, so this isn't just Americans, this is a global audience, are dissatisfied and they do not trust government, media, business, and nonprofits. Business actually has the highest trust ratio of the four of them, which is incredibly disconcerting to me because it's only 1 or 2% points higher than nonprofit. But the point is, there's a lack of trust and a lack of trust in statements that are being made. So having verified third-party certifications like this one is very important for a business to actually demonstrate that they're doing the things they say they're doing.
All
And I
right.
see there's a bunch more questions coming in. So, Gabby,
Yeah,
I'm going to let you.
yeah, there's another one that actually pivots really well with what you just said. Megan asked, what are some tactics that you use to communicate your eco-committed certification to clients, present and future?
Okay, perfect. That's a great question. Thank you, Megan. One of the things that we do, I showed you our carbon footprint report, but we do this report yearly. And what's nice about it is it's the way it's built out, you can compare, you can go back to 2017, well, 2018, and you can compare it to 2024. So the data, we share the same data points every year. And when it's a 5 year or 10 year, like we'll showcase like big changes. But I think that's a really important thing. I have a letter at the beginning of the report, and over time, the report has gotten longer and longer because I have felt compelled, because of the conversations I get into with folks from literally around the world about this, to help show others how to unpack and communicate the sustainability actions you're doing. So I literally have a page dedicated. Actually, there's probably 2 pages dedicated to ClimeCo and the Eco-Committed Partner Program and what we're doing in that program in our 2024 report. And again, we won't do the 2025 report till 2026. We'll do it the year after. And we also share it on our website. And I'll give me a second, I'll find the link to our website. We actually have a carbon page, and I've been thinking that I might need to rename it to not be carbon because now we have plastic and the water offsets on this page. But this is here. I'm going to put it to the chat for everyone to see. This is this is where we share all of that information. So any of our customers or clients or stakeholders can easily get access to it and see what we're doing. I'm very much about transparency because I understand that many people feel that there's a lack of trust. So I want to establish trust by being transparent about the things we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like those are awesome ways for you to establish transparency, right? The trust that you're saying. I think communication is key, and as you're in the communication area of the workspace, it's great to learn from you in terms of what you do, not only for yourself but also what you advise your clients to do as well. That's awesome. Very good.
Are there other questions? Or Gabby, do you have any for me? I know you and I've talked a bit about just how how the world is changing.
Yes, we have. I feel like maybe the one question is, um, how you've been a committed partner for such a long time, and I just wanted to see how you're feeling about the evolution of the program across the years. Of course, I don't think this is going to be the last iteration of updates of the program. I think sustainability is ever changing, and programs should change with it. So how have you felt in terms of the evolution of the program over time?
Well, I am obsessed with this water. This whole 15,000 gallons of water restoration. I am obsessed with that. Again, I live on Lake Michigan. I mean, I Wisconsin's located on Lake Michigan. I'm not on the lake shore, but I feel like I live close to the lake. And I know how challenging the water issues are. And I've been hearing about water issues, the coming like the world crisis on water since probably 1998 or 1999 because I grew up in the Midwest and I went to graduate school at Michigan State. And so this is something that folks here are very much aware of. I want to say it's 18% of the world's fresh water is literally in the Great Lakes. And so there's all kinds of data about how we really have to take care of that water. And
Yeah,
I feel that that's really important. But I also know that agriculture, and my background is sustainable ag, is very dependent upon water. And hearing the stories and reading articles about what's happened in California and up and down the West Coast, with the rivers running dry and farmers not being able to irrigate. I mean, it's beyond disheartening. It's upsetting. It's sad. It's a real problem. And so anything that we can do to help address some of these bigger challenges. I mean, of course, it's kind of like with efficiency. You do efficiency first before you go and you know, put solar panels on your home, right? You're going to make your home as
right.
efficient first. But I think we need to take a multi-pronged approach to addressing some of this. And what I like about the ClimeCo Eco-Committed Partner Program is that for my clients, it's very easy for them just to join the program because they may not want to do their full footprint, but they know, okay, we have 20 employees, you know, and so especially if they're starting with scope 1 and scope 2, if they haven't even looked at scope 3 yet, it's a really great way to get them in, to get them taking action, and their employees then get excited because they know that they're actually being part of the solution. Because the other thing that I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up is that the majority of workers under the age of 40 in the world, so this isn't just a US thing, want to work at a company that allows them to help be part of the solution and not the problem. So what I'm saying is, and I'm saying young workers, but anybody under 40, and maybe it's not all, but let's say 70 to 80%. And
Mm.
again, this data is very well documented globally. Um, but younger workers want to have the opportunity in their day-to-day job to be part of a solution. So whether it's joining a green team or having an employer that allows their 401k to be going into a carbon neutral, supporting carbon neutral initiatives. So clients of mine that have done this program share with their employees what they're doing, and their employees really like that. So I think that becomes also almost like a recruiting tool too, but also just like a raising awareness. The number of times I've talked about this program over the years, younger people are getting married. They didn't know their wedding could be carbon neutral. I'm like, yes, you could get the carbon offsets for your wedding. So I think that the program has evolved as the world has evolved and as we now have more and more understandings about the ramifications of our actions, you know. So I think I'm really happy. I wouldn't be here today going on about it if I didn't really appreciate the fact that you're actually changing with the times because
Mhm. Yeah,
we all need to be taking action, in my
right.
opinion.
And again, I feel like we're very proud and super excited to be able to offer all these different, like you said, multi-pronged approach to sustainability and climate action in a way that it's um, not only easily to communicate, right, but also to be able to see the actual impact that these projects are having and uh, understand where your commitment is going. I feel like that's vital. So that's great to hear. I feel like this next expansion is very exciting. I think we're excited to disseminate this information to more than just the webinar folks and just in general, just to see how much work is yet to be done and how much work is ongoing in terms of taking action in terms of these pressing issues right now and being able to do something about it, even if you're a small business, no matter your size, you can always do something. And I feel like that's the main goal of the program is there's always something you can do, and we're here to help with that.
And you can do it in an easy manner because I'm a sustainability person, so like I'm going to do everything I possibly can, and I put all like for fun I read sustainability journal articles, right? Or environmental articles or science or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the average person may not have that time, the time or the ability, but it's pretty easy to join the program. And I love the fact that the updated talking points with more data I think is really good too to help people because it is hard if you're not familiar with what some of these words mean. What does that actually look like? And that's part of where we have the problem with greenwashing going on. So as somebody who also works with Marcom people, I think it's really great that you have spelled out information that says this is what this equals. Water restoration equals 15,000 gallons of water. So that could then easily be brought into marketing materials, and nobody is making a guess about what it actually means.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I also feel like that addition speaks to wider audiences that are not necessarily, in the sustainability space, and be more have a wider reach in terms of the actual understanding of what they're doing. Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing. Wonderful. I feel like we're almost at time. Yeah, a few minutes before 1 p.m. here in New York. So we'll wrap this up. But I want to thank, first and foremost, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us a great understanding of what the Eco-Committed Partnership means to you and your business and how you employ it. We also thank everyone that joined us at the webinar today. We hope that you found this informative, I hope to see you in my inbox with any questions you might have. I am very excited to see how this expansion can help SMBs around the world. So yeah, so feel free to, have questions for us at ClimeCo or for Lisa as well. We have my next slide here, my last one, has our contact information. If you wish to reach out to us. You have my email address and also Lisa's contact information. And just feel free to uh, reach out, have any questions. We can engage in any conversations you might have and help you out. Amazing. Well, thank you all, and I wish you all a fantastic day.
thank you. Thank you for having Evolution Marketing.
Thank you, Lisa. It was great.